Alright guys, so this is the final section of the video. If I do go over, then I'll do one more section, but I think it should be okay. So anyway, so we have Andy's face. It's ready to go. The only thing that I'm noticing is, it's so bright. So one of the things that I would do initially is maybe go into image adjustments and maybe start playing with my brightness and contrast to see if I can get this thing to balance out a little bit better. So maybe bringing that brightness down a little bit. And you see how we're getting it to blend in a little bit more. I don't want to mess with the contrast too much because I don't want it to start either getting grainy or get too much noise in it. But if you want to play with it, you can start playing with that to get a better representation of how that's going to balance out. I'm going to leave it at 0 for now and just okay that. It's a little better, but it's still a little bit blown out. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my modes within my layers panel, and then once I'm in here, excuse me, I'm going to start playing with some of my modes here. Now the modes are really going to help you guys out with a lot of different aspects of your photography. I know some of you guys are really kind of just hooked on or used to working in Lightroom. I'm a combination of both. Before Lightroom, I was just primarily Photoshop. But one of the things that I can do is either go overlay to see what it's going to look like. We're getting the face, which is blending into the hands a little better, but the face is disappearing within the hands. That's something that we might not want. So we might want to jump up here and maybe try some of the other modes, maybe like soft light, and then we're getting a better representation, but now the face is really blending in to the hands. Or we can go into multiply, which is one of my favorites, and you see how you get a better representation now. Multiply, for some reason it gives you a really, really good blend of transitioning in between two different images. So once I have something that I feel looks okay, then I can start playing with placement again, meaning that I can go, how high or high-low do I want Andy's face to fit? Do I want his eyes higher or lower? Now remember that your placement is now going to impact the mask, because we were masking around an existing location that we had placed that face in, but now when we start moving this around, you can see how you can start seeing some of that block out that's not completely blocked out correctly. So I'm going to place it about there, and I'm going to go back into my mask. I'm going to go B on my keyboard. That's both Mac and PC. Then I'm going to jump in here and go back into the mask, and then with the black channel selected, or this black swatch box, what I can start doing is start removing more of the area that I don't want. Now if Andy starts disappearing, one of the things that I like doing to make Andy pop a little more is I can take Andy's face here and I can duplicate this whole layer. So if I go down to my little folded paper, duplicate it, then Andy pops a little more. Once I have him popping, what I can do, if I don't want to collapse these layers, meaning merge them, or just collapse them completely, I can make a selection of both and then go V, and then I can start playing with my placement again until I get something that I feel comfortable with. Now, not taking into consideration that I haven't cleaned this up completely, okay? So I still have to do a lot more cleaning up. Now you have two different channels that you're going to have to clean up. I would recommend that you work on one channel. Once you have something that you're comfortable with, then you start cleaning up. The main thing is to make this face feel like if it's part of that hand, like if the shadows are meshing with that hand, or if the details are meshing with that hand. Make them feel like if they're part of that environment, and not make them feel like if they're separate. You're telling me a story of who that person is. Andy Warhol was an eccentric, off-the-wall pop artist who, partied a lot, was very mysterious, but through his art sense, really created a different genre of art. So, to me, this is a good representation of who Andy is. When you look at some of the details within the eyebrows or the eyes, look at how they're meshing into the face, where we started and where we're ending. So I'm going to stop this here, and then I'm going to do one more video of just a comparison of where it started, where it ended, and then I'm going to stop there. Thanks, guys.